So we are starting with you, Sahana.
Yeah, Vedant. Shall I start?
Yes, please.
Okay. This starting with the 7th shloka. Etat sadhana chatushtayam tatastat vivekadikarino bhavanti. So this means these are the fourfold qualifications. Thereafter, having acquired these fourfold qualifications, they become adhikaris. The person will be fit for the inquiry into the truth. So we all know what are these fourfold qualifications. This can be remembered as 4Ds: desire, discrimination, dispassion.
Fail to detect your speaker on చెప్పాను. Please waiting. Check my audio devices చెప్పాలా.
Prema, can you go on mute?
Yeah, can you mute yourself, Prema?
Yeah. So the person is fit for the inquiry into the truth. Sadhana chatushtayam means the mental preparedness for spiritual journey. Here in TattvaBodha, the author only enumerates the preparation. He does not say about how to get this preparedness. It is like if I have completed GRE and TOEFL, then I will be eligible to go to American University. So we are actually lucky people that we are here, so that we are. It assumes that we are having this qualification. However, if I feel that I don't have this qualifications, or they're not sufficient enough, then there are two exercises. One is karma yoga. So the literal meaning of karma means proper action. Yoga means proper attitude. So by proper action, what we mean is finding time and resource to serve the society. Panchamahayagna, we all know that. So all the type of Panchamahayagna activities come under service activities. Not that we should dedicate our whole life for that. We can spend our money, resource, time to fulfill our own personal desires also. Like we have a desire to travel the world, or buy a car, or to have a villa near the beach, or anything of that sort. So
దాంట్లో కూడా సేమ్ బ్రో ఈ విండోస్
so many worldly desires are there. So Vedas never say to suppress our desires. Vedas say fulfill all your legitimate worldly desires in a legitimate moral manner, which is called kamya karma. But don't stop yourself there. So kamya karma is selfish activities. Nishkama karma is selfless service. So that is what will help us in acquiring these three qualifications. That is Viveka, Vairagya, and Mumukshutvam. Whatever we do it as an offering to the Lord, wholeheartedly. Like it is called Ishvara Arpana Bhava. So dedication to the Lord mentally. The most importantly, all our karmas, sakarma karma or nishkama karma, all of them have its own consequences. Sometimes they may fructify, sometimes they may give positive results, sometimes they may not give result, sometimes they may give negative result also. In fact, continuously we are facing the result of our past activities. Every human experience is a result of our own past activities. Not only immediate past activity, even Purva Janma Karma that will chase us in this Janma. Since every experience is a result of our own action, we have dedicated all our actions to God. And therefore, the result is coming from God. Every experience is a karma phala coming from Ishvara. So whatever comes from God is a prasada. Therefore, I will accept without blaming anyone, because Bhagavan is always fair. This acceptance of all experience in life as Ishvara Prasada. So, because Bhagavan gives the karma phalam, these outcomes are called karma phalam. We have to accept without reactions. This is called mental equanimity, right? So, thus, karma yoga helps in equanimity of the mind and learning from the experiences of life and understanding the limitations of worldly things, so that gradually we know the value of moksha. Then Vedapurva prescribes another yoga called Upasana Yoga, which is meant for acquiring and improving the third qualification called Sama. Sama means mind management or thought management. What kind of thoughts? Involuntary thoughts. Sometimes they can turn deadly. So 6 internal disciplines we already know: Sama, Dhamma, Uparama, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhanam. So this Upasana Yoga helps us in acquiring all these 6 disciplines. So when I say Upasana Yoga, it is nothing but a meditation. So in fact, we all know meditation is a very vast subject. So here I would like to tell it in a very simple words. A simple form of meditation is Manasa Japa or Pranayama. So that means what? Recitation of any prayers mentally. It can be Guru Stotram or Krishna Stotram or Shiva Manasa Puja. So basically, I sit in one place quietly for 10 minutes and ask my involuntary thoughts to go away. Is it that easy? It is not. But then we can start with, picking up a chant, whichever is close to your heart. Pick up that chant. You do not have any initiation from any guru. You pick up that chant, write it on a paper, keep it at the feet of the Lord, and choose any day like Guru Varam or any day which you think is right, and then have a resolve that I will chant it for.
Sahana, we can't hear you. We are not able to hear you, Sahana. Sahana, you there?
Yeah. I think there was a network issue. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So, but then here, when I chant the mantra, it should never be mechanical. I should always have the awareness of mental chanting. All of them will come under Upasana Yoga. This will help me in gaining mind management. And once I develop this facility, even at any other time when my mind is unnecessary fretting and fuming, I can chant this mantra. And mind gets the clue. So the thought goes away, at least for that moment. But this requires years and years of practice, but it is worth it. So this gives a qualification number 3. Thus, Karma Yoga plus Upasana Yoga is equal to Sadhana Chatushtayam. So, after having these 4 Ds, Tat Vivekasya Adhikarinaha Bhavanti, means they become adhikaris, qualified and prepared students for inquiry into the reality. Tat Viveka. Yeah. That's it from my side. Any questions?
How practical are these? How can we practically implement in our lives?
You mean all these 6 qualities?
Yeah.
See, Sama is management of your thoughts, basically involuntary thoughts. I think after doing this Vedanta or Veda classes from Vedant, I see that awareness has come to all of us. It can be as simple as that. There is a chattering all the time in my mind. I am aware of it, and we don't react to everything nowadays, right? We at least think. There is so much of control about the involuntary thoughts. Voluntary thoughts are nothing but that I want to engage in. Involuntary thoughts are just they come. So I think we have at least have that awareness. This is not my it is not coming with my will. Sometimes we engage, but after engaging in that thought, we are at least aware that this is not I would want to indulge in. So I think we are already doing. So is there any specific thing that you want to ask? Or any situation where
Yeah, can you put on that slide that you presented?
Bidhan, can you present? Bidhan, can you go back to that slide?
Yeah. So in a karma yoga, kamya karma, nishkama karma,
Yeah.
you had said that nishkama karma is
Doing selfless activities.
selfless.
Yeah.
So how do we continuously do selfless activities?
How do we do? See, it need not be that you have to spend your money and time. It can be as simple as you are smiling at your neighbor when you're walking, somebody passes you. Just that a good gesture of that smile without expecting anything also come under nishkama karma, right? That can be continuously done. Like you are helping your family member or anybody or your mate. It can be as simple as thing that you don't expect, you can just do it.
Hmm.
I think a lot of it we are already doing, just that we are not aware of it also. It need not be that going to a old age home or orphanage and do that activity. It need not be that big also.
Yeah, I think as I was asking that question, I was looking at the screen as well. Does the answer lie there itself? Ishvara Arpana Bhavana. So do whatever you do with Ishvara Arpana Bhavana. Every bit of what you do with that bhavana, and then accept it as a prasada.
Correct.
Each activity, whatever the result is.
Yeah.
Then
Anything you do, that reverence will go as a nishkama karma.
Then nothing gets attached to you. You are giving away the things that excite you. You're giving away the things that pains you. So there's nothing that you're holding back.
Correct.
Then that karma, new
There's
karma
nothing-
doesn't get added.
Yeah. There's nothing that you're holding back is one thing. The very name of nishkamya means in Sanskrit nothing or without rather. Kamya means wish. Okay. So nothing that you are wishing for out of it. Nish means not without. And kamya is a wish in Sanskrit. Nishkamya is a combination of these two words.
So how do you apply this into your life? You know, when you're doing, say, your official work, you know, even housework. So how do you apply this nishkamya karma, Ishvara Arpana Bhavana?
So let me
Both
quickly
are
take it
both
How to
from
make
here.
it practical?
Yeah, so let me quickly take it from here, and then we
Yeah.
can possibly move to the next one, and we can respond in case this doesn't get over in this thing. So when we have learned about karma yoga, we have said that see, desire drives our karma. So you can't take away the desire. Suppose if I am basically working in any organization, the desire is to get promoted, desire is to do well, desire is to service the clients, desire is to make money, to make bonuses, and you can't take the desire away, whether it is in any form of work. Now, what Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita is it's okay to have desires. However, please remember that the outcome will not be as you may have anticipated. It can be more than what you expected, less than what you expected, completely different from you expected. Because your outcome is not only a function of your input, it's also a function of a whole lot of other things that influences it. Therefore, what you should be doing is that when you are doing any action for meeting your desires, offer it to me like a prayer, like a yajna. Give everything that you have, give your 100%, give whatever you have, just offer it to me, and don't be too attached to the outcome. You may not be very happy with the outcome that comes. Take it as a prasadam and try again. Learn from what would have gone wrong. See what is, or maybe you want to reset your goals. Do whatever you want to. The point is, when you are taking any action, the action should be completely mindful. You should give in your 100%, give in your best, with an eye towards the outcome, but do not get too attached to the outcome. The outcome can vary. So that is what Nishkama Karma basically talks about. Ishwar Arpana again is when you do a yajna. What is it that you're doing? You offer the best samagris into the fire. And the outcome of the yajna can be what you expected, more than what you expected, less than what expected. There are a whole lot of other things that can happen. So that's why it is basically called Ishwar Arpana Bhava. So every action that we do, including suppose cleaning, cooking food, any activity, even walking, do it with Ishwar Arpana. Offer your entire karma to me, and the outcome can be equal to, more than, and less than what you expected. If you're not happy with the outcome, accept it, don't reject it. Try and see what you can do again to offer it to me. Does it make sense?
Now, if we take an example of, say, Virat Kohli, and he's been consistently performing to the highest level.
Right.
Now, can you ever do anything like that with this bhavana?
Can you do anything with that, with this bhavana?
Like the way he is continuously being driven within to reach that, to always see success in whatever he is doing right now.
Right.
With that bhavana, can someone go to that kind of levels?
In fact, if you speak to most of the entrepreneurs, some of the really big entrepreneurs, they operate from this bhavana. When they start building their product, when they start building their company, for them, the sky is the limit. They really don't know which way the company may turn. Their entire focus is on building the product, in building the company. They have benchmarks, they have benchmarks as an outcome, but they're not attached to it. They keep on changing their course, they keep on changing their career, they keep on changing their actions on a regular basis, because they don't get stuck to an outcome. The outcome can be phenomenal hard. When the Facebook started, when the Twitter started, nobody would have expected for them to see such big empires. The only thing that they did was to continue focus on delivering value to the customers. Until the time our focus is on delivering value to the customers, the organizations develop in itself. They don't necessarily target that this is the amount of sale that we have. These are the benchmarks that we put, but not necessarily that we get stressed out with making sure. So for example, the best example is If you're talking about Virat Kohli, you can also talk about Mahendra Singh Dhoni, and you can read his interviews. And very clearly he says, then when I play, I'm not looking at the scoreboard. I'm just seeing in this moment what needs to be done and can I give my best. So that's the temperament they're talking about.
In fact, Virat Kohli is the perfect example of what we are talking about, because he's also not looking at the scoreboard that he has to do his centuries or half centuries. Got out at 47 and 92 and 94s also. That's clearly mean that he's not attached with the results. All he's focused on doing his karma, that is playing the good game. So that's a very good example actually we have unconsciously put in here.
Vedant, there's also a concept of, Satkarmani, Sadgunaha, and Sadbhavana. I don't know if that will add to your own desires, like Suresh just asked about, in the organization where, is it possible to do it? So I thought this could also be attached to it, where it says that even if you do anything, it has to be that the number of beneficiaries should be higher than just yourself. You can include yourself, but the number of beneficiaries should be higher. That is Satkarmani. And Satguna is with a healthy virtue, which is truthfulness, compassion, consideration for others. And Sadbhavana, which is attitude towards, everything should be healthy, that everything is a creation of the universe, and I have that reverence. So anything that you operate from, where the beneficiaries are more, where you have healthy values and healthy attitude, that could be towards your family, towards your neighbors, towards your fellow humans, plants, animals, nature, and that reverential attitude is what I think combines as Karma Yoga, is what one of the
Absolutely.
other sources said. Yeah, so
Absolutely.
And just extrapolating what Sapna told to Virat Kohli's example itself, since Suresh brought it up, there has been a lot of instances in these games where the other player gives up his thing so that Virat Kohli completes his century, or gives up the strike to him with that bhavna that okay, somebody else, I am giving up my strike so that he completes whatever has to be done. And it's the same mindset in which Virat Kohli is also playing. He's not looking at completing his century or breaking a record, but the score, I mean, the team winning or the team is what it is. There are a lot of times when it's very well played, they take the game slow so that Virat gets a chance to complete it before the game ends, even if they are winning or losing.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you, Suresh, for asking this question, and thank you each one of you for giving your inputs. So shall we move? Yeah, please, Kaushal.
The Kamya karma, can I have a few examples of what that could be in our daily lives?
Sana, you're on mute.
Yeah, Kamya karma is anything you do for your own self. Like, you cook your food. That is to fulfill your desire of hunger, right? Anything you do for your own self is called Kamya karma. Whether you cook or you buy a car, or you're doing a job to earn money, to take care of yourself, your family. Anything you do for yourself is called a Kamya karma. Am I right, Vidhan?
Yes.
Yeah. Kaushal, is it clear?
Kaushal, you're on mute.
Yeah, okay, thanks. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can go to the next sloka.
Yeah. Thank you, Vedant. And before I start explaining, this is my first attempt at learning Veda, at reading Veda and everything. So if I am not right in any of the places, whether it's pronunciation or my explanation and understanding, kindly forgive. Okay. So with that, thank you, Sahna, for giving the precursor to whatever I was trying to explain. So we just understood by what Sahana said that, there are fourfold qualification that most of us need to have in order to pursue studies of Veda. It gives us the, power, or it gives us the requirements that we need to have to go into the deeper studies of Veda. So now what is it that we are trying to study here? That is what this shloka is about. So it says, now that you have the four requirements and you understand, and you are the adhikari of it, tat vivekaha kaha. So what is tat viveka? So if I split this word into two things, tat and viveka, we already know that tattva is nothing but the truth or the reality that we are seeking, and viveka is the ability to distinguish between what is nitya and anitya, right? So we are trying to understand, when we are reading about the reality, what is it that we can understand as something that is permanent and something that is not so very permanent, right? So in general, this is an inquiry. So when they say tat vivekaha kaha, it is an inquiry into the truth that we are going into. So what is the answer that the Guruji is giving to this? He says, Atma Satyam Tadantyat Sarva Mityeti. So he says, Atma is the only reality or the ultimate truth. Everything else is Mithya. So to understand Atma, it becomes very important for us to understand Mithya. So what is Mithya? Mithya is understood as misconception or something that is not the ultimate truth. So if we were to explain this with an example, there are many beautiful examples given. Let me take a very common example that we all use in our daily lives. We all have steel at home, right? We have steel plates, we have tumblers, we have spoons, we have vessels in which we boil milk. So we have different shapes and forms of these vessels which we use for different needs in our life. So this shape and form that is there is very true in reality, which we need to use in our daily lives. But is this its true nature? If you look in a little deeper, this is no. The shape and form is just there to meet your daily requirement. But the true nature of that vessel is that it is all made of steel. Right? So similarly, they take examples of wood. If you see a table, it can be a dining table, it can be an office table, it can be a study table, right? So it may have different shapes and forms, but the true nature of it is that it is a particular material, which is the wood. So that is the reality that you have to look into. You don't just go by shape and form. So if we apply this to human nature or human beings or living beings in general, we say that we all have some shape or form. Like animals have a certain shape, dogs have a certain shape and form, humans have a certain shape and form, and we identify with this body, right? And this body is very necessary for our lives to go on in this world. And with this body, there is also this mind that we attach to it, and there is also the intellect that we see. For example, if we look at someone, we say, oh, she is that lady, who's standing there with this sari, and she's talking like that. She's a very clever woman, and she has done so much of studies. So we identify ourselves with different roles, different things in our life, whether it is our desires, our social status. So all these are ways of identifying ourselves. But is this the true nature? No, these are all the conceptions that we have made in order to live our daily life. But the true nature of the human being is the Atma. So this is what the Guru is trying to say. Bidan, next slide, please. So when we say the true nature is Atma, the automatic question is, now Atma kaha? So what is this Atma that we are talking about, which we call as the true nature? So there is a big explanation that Guruji gives. He says, Stula Sukshma Karana Sharira Yatiriktaha Pancha Koshatitah San Avastatraya Sakshi Sachidananda Swarupa San Yati Yastishtati Sa Atma. So I'll go a little by little into the definition, right? So when he says this big of a definition, it is very difficult for us normal human beings to understand. So he is using three varieties of definition here to explain the concept of Atma, because it is as simple as it is complex. So the first thing or the first type of definition he used is known as Atat Vyatiriktaha Lakshana. So this kind of definition is something that you understand by negating what it is not. Like if we look at a woman, if we say that is not a man, that means we are identifying that person by understanding what they are not. It's a definition that you give in the form of deductive reasoning, I can say, right? So the first two explanations that he is giving is given in this form of a definition. So Guruji is saying, Atma is that part of you which is not the stula sharira, which is not the sukshma sharira, and which is not the karana sharira. It is beyond all this. So it is not anything that is related to your gross body and your subtle body or your causal body. So what is it that is beyond this? In very simple sentence, if I have to put this, he says, anything that you call mine cannot be your true nature. It is something that belongs to you, but it is not the true self of you. So all these shariras is something that you feel is yours. So they can't be your true nature. All that is mine is not the true me. That is the simple explanation here. Similarly, when we go to Pancha Kosha Tita San, right? So here also he's saying all the Pancha Koshas, which is we have studied and Vedanta has very much taught us, the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and Anandamaya, right? All these are koshas that we are experiencing with respect to our body and our life here, right? So something again that is yours cannot be you. So you are beyond all this panchakoshas. So in this kind of a definition where we go by deductive reasoning or by negating, he says we are not the shariras and we are not the panchakoshas. So then what else are we? What else is this Atma? That is what we are trying to see. So next the Guru says, Avastatraya Sakshi. So in this kind of a definition, here we are trying to understand something which is in relationship to something else. Like for example, if I said, that is Uma, who is Hari's wife. So I am understanding a person with respect to something I have associated with, right? And this kind of a definition is called as Tatastha Lakshana. Okay, so here he is saying we all have three states, which is, the Jagrata state, the Swapna state, and the Sushupti state, where we in English we will say either awake, sleep, and the transcendent state, right? So these are all states that you experience, right? And there is a part of you that is behind all this, which is a witness to this experience also, which is very consciously aware of these experiences you're having. So what again you're experiencing cannot be you. So it is that part of you which is beyond these states that you are experiencing, which is a witness to the states you are experiencing, right? And then the final explanation he gives is Satchidananda Swarupa San. So Yastishtati Sa Atma. So Atma is that part which is Satchidananda Swarupa. So here the kind of definition that is given is called Swarupa Lakshana. Means we are trying to understand something by understanding its qualities, right? If I say sugar is sweet, then I understand sugar by understanding its nature or its quality. So that is the kind of definition we are having here. So the question becomes, what is Sat, Chit and Ananda? So I won't go very deep into it because in the coming shlokas, this is already discussed, but I will give a very brief explanation. So when we call Sat, it is that part of the consciousness or that part of you which transcends all time periods. It was something that existed in the past. It is something that exists in the present, and it is something that will exist beyond you, right? And there is a part of you that is witnessing all this. There is a part of you that witnessed how you were when you are a child. You have that memory. There is a part of you that witnesses you now, which understand how you are in your middle age, in your present life. And there is also a part of you that understands, okay, how your old age would be. It's an imagination, but still there is some witness to it, right? So that part of you, which is unchanging with all that you're going through and is eternal, that is Atma. So that is what is understood by Sat. Now, Chit. To understand Chit, we can say it's consciousness or an experiential witness. Let's say we all go through experiences, right? There are times when we get angry. There are times when we feel sad. With every experience we go, we have multiple perceptions, we have multiple thoughts attached to it. And then we judge people, we feel bad when we are judged. All this keeps happening. But that part of you, which is just aware of your experience and is not involved in all these activities that you're doing. It is not attached to your thoughts. It is not attached to your actions. It is not attached to your feelings, but it is just a witness, right? If you're sitting in the dark, there is a part of you that is aware that you're scared of the dark. At the same, but it does not do anything to change it, right? It is just a witness. Similarly, when there is a light and you feel happy about it, there is a part of you that witnesses that you're happy because the light has come back. So that part of you, that part of the consciousness that you experience, which is just aware and conscious of everything that you're going through, that is your Chit. And when you are in this state where you understand that there is a part of you which is, it transcends all time, there is no end to it. And then there is also this part of you that understands that you are just a witness to everything that is happening, right? So when you don't feel like you have to control things and you are just there in these two states, there is a certain calmness that comes within you. There is a certain silence that you feel. There is a certain peace that you feel. And that is Ananda. So that part is also Atma. So the Guru says that part which understands what is Sat and Chit and Ananda and is experiencing it within you, that is Atma. Right? So, yeah, that is my understanding and explanation. If anyone needs to add anything, kindly do.
I can just say you all are simply amazing.
Yeah, and Uma, doesn't look like this is your first time that you are trying to present.
I spent 3 whole days on this one shloka.
No,
So obviously,
whatever it is, I mean, it just is not your first time. I mean, I don't know, it's just not your first time. You were too clear, too crisp. I mean, hats off. Very nice.
Thank you for saying that. I mean, my first experience with Veda was in Bidan's class, and it was an amazing experience. And now again, to go through this, to read this, and to be in the space with you all, I'm enjoying it as well. A lot of learning for me.
Lovely, Uma. Just too
Thank
good.
you.
Thank you, Uma. Very nice.
You
Thank
brought it down to a level where anybody can understand. Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uma.
I was really scared, but I'm very happy with the feedback. Thank you.
And if I have to add, when you started talking about Ananda and bliss, no, I don't know if you observed, but there was a serious experiential modulation in your own voice, actually.
Yeah.
When you started explaining about when you came to Ananda and bliss, no, your own voice had that experiential stuff.
Yeah.
It was,
Yeah.
yeah. I can't tell you more than this. That's all.
Thank you. Thank you.
Great. I mean, it was amazing the way you spoke, Uma. It's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you, Bidan.
Thank you. Any questions, or shall we move on to the next one? I think this was a pretty clean sweep. so let's go with the next one, because I think Atma will be covered in further detail right now.
Isn't it the same thing?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So I was, Uma, firstly, thank you. I mean, I think that was really, really well done. With regard to the shloka, I will not be able to utter the shloka because I will probably be the worst to utter it. Anita is on the call, and
yeah, I can read it.
please, Anita, thank you.
Atmaha kaha stula sukshma karana shariraktam vyat. So व्यतिरिक्त पंचकोशातीतः सन् अवस्थत्रय साक्षी सच्चिदानंद रूप सन् यः तिष्ठति सः आत्मः.
Yeah. Is this a repeat of what Uma did?
Yeah, because
I was wondering when I was
do
going
8.1 and 8.2.
Yeah, I know.
So this was the
Tat Vivekaha was the 8.1.
and 8.2 was Atma kaha.
No, 8.2 was that Tat Vivekaha ka answer. So.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So I think what we will have
I'm
to
very
do,
sorry then.
No, that's okay.
No, that's absolutely fine. Let's go ahead with what you have prepared, Anand.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Firstly, Anita, thank you. I think that was a surprise that you made it. Thank you for making it. Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Anita. So here, I mean, this is a little bit of a different take, probably not as elaborate as what Uma said, but let's take a look at it. We'll have an Atman overdose today. Let's do that. So the question here is, what is self? And the answer that comes from the Guru is that which is other than the gross, subtle, and casual bodies, right? And which is beyond the 5 sheets, and that which is the witness of the 3 states of consciousness, right? And is of the very nature of existence. So, Bidan, if you could go to the next slide, please. So, there are different things which are introduced in this, right? In terms of the 3 bodies, the 5 sheets, and the 3 states of consciousness. And nothing better for a sales guy to have numbers attached to this, right? Now, Bidan, if you could go to the next one, please. So when you look at it, right, the gross body is what, I mean, I try to put it in perspective, right? The gross body is the Annamaya Kosha, that is the physical being that is there, which typically is made out of food, and that's where it is. Then when you go to the Sukshma Sharira, which correlates to the Pranamaya Kosha, the Manomaya Kosha, and the Vijnanamaya Kosha, which is basically the energy, the mental, being, and of course the intellect and knowledge, and of course the ultimate being the Karana Sharira, which is the casual body or the Anandamaya Kosha. So this is in terms of defining what the three bodies are and what are the five sheets which are there. Now we have some more numbers to deal with. If we can go to the next slide. Yeah, I think this was very, very interesting for me when I started reading about it. And of course, I didn't, acknowledge who put this up on the web. I will do that next time. But when you look at it, there are three states of consciousness. One is the waking state that we are in at this point in time. Then, of course, there is a state of dream, the swapna, and the deep sleep with the shushupti. And it's so beautiful, right? Waking is the conscious state, and it has to do with the gross body. Dreaming is more with the dream state is more with the unconscious state, but subtle body. And when it's in deep sleep, right, it goes more into the subconscious and the casual body. What I'm amazed at is, all these were thought about back then. I mean, and it's helping us today. So this is the three states of consciousness, and that's about it. But I think Uma did the justice by picking up 9.1, 9.2. And that's about it from me.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Anand. Just only one thing I just wanted to bring it out here. Maybe this is, so maybe Karana Sharira, we'll have to just check whether it is causal body or a casual body. My understanding, it is causal body.
Okay, causal body. Okay, I think.
Yeah. So here, I think it is meant as causal body. So, but otherwise, it's very well spoken here.
Thank you.
Any questions on this? I will just take a moment, since Anand has put it out over here, when we are talking about three states of consciousness. So just for us to understand that I, the consciousness, I, the Atma, experiences three states of mind. So the mind, basically in the waking state, operates with the help of sense organs. And therefore you experience a waking world. So right now you're experiencing a waking world, hopefully. So in waking world, what is happening? All the data is being captured by your five sense organs. And then your mind is making sense, perceiving this, right? So there's an interaction between your five sense organs and your mind. So that constitutes your waking world. Now, what happens when you go into sleep? When you go into your sleep, your sense organs aren't working. But then your mind projects a reality, a new reality which is different from this, a reality which has its own space-time construct, which is what is called a dream world, which is different from the waking world. But that is real at that moment, isn't it? Now, what happens in a deep sleep is that the mind resolves. And there is absolutely nothing, even nothingness is not there. It is beyond something and nothing. So the mind resolves, and you do not even experience the presence of your own self. You don't even experience the presence or absence of time, or a presence and absence of space. So if you see, the mind goes into a complete, it resolves, slowly it comes to dream state, it creates this reality, and then it expresses itself out through the sense organs, and therefore it's the waking state. So there is three states that is being experienced. The point what Shankaracharya is saying is that who is the one who is experiencing it? You, the consciousness, is experiencing the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. Because when you wake up from the sleep, you suddenly say, I slept well. I don't remember what happened, but I think I slept well. And then you'll remember those dreams, and then you remember the waking state. So you are beyond the waking state, the dream state, and the deep sleep state. You are that consciousness which is experiencing all these three states. That is what it means by three states of consciousness, or the better way to probably put it across might be three states of mind. I, the consciousness, who's experiencing three states of mind. But thank you so much, Anand, for putting it across, because it becomes very easy for us to visualize and make sense of this.
I have a question.
Yes, Srividya.
So these three states of consciousness can happen. I mean, when we are awake also, right? It's not just even when I'm awake, I could go into an unconscious state where, maybe when I'm drawing or when I'm driving a car, it's happened sometimes, that when I'm driving from one place to another, there is a maybe a 10-second or a 20 seconds where I have reached my unconscious stage of driving. And suddenly, oh God, I've reached so far, I don't even know. So wouldn't that be possible? And sometimes even when I'm journaling, I reach a subconscious stage. I mean, I'm not at all conscious of what I'm writing. So many times when I look back, I said, wow, have I written all this? So I'm just looking at this as a experience of the experiencer who can go into these different states even while I am awake. Because as a body, as a mind, I may be still, but as an Atma, I might be awake all the time, doing at the different states of consciousness. And just
okay, so let me ask you a question, Srividya.
Yeah.
Can you be awake and can you be dreaming at the same time?
Yes.
No. Either you are dreaming.
Okay.
Or you are awake. It may so happen you are awake, you went into dream and suddenly you woke up.
Yes. Okay. Got you.
Right? At any given moment, you will either be awake, you will be dreaming, or you'll be deep sleep, or you'll be in a deep sleep.
Okay.
And these are the three states of mind. The three states of mind is continuously changing.
Mm-hmm.
It could be hallucination, another state of mind.
Okay.
Right? One may actually fall unconscious, the another state of mind.
Okay.
So the mind goes through multiple states. Sometimes it is awake, sometimes it is in dream, sometimes it is conscious, sometimes it is subconscious, sometimes it is unconscious.
Okay.
Right? So who is the one who is watching the various states of mind? It is you, the consciousness, who is watching various states of mind.
Got you. Okay. Very beautiful. Thank you so much.
Perfect. So any more questions? Otherwise, we'll move to the next one, and then from there we can ask whatever questions that we have. Right.
Okay, hello everyone. Namaste. Am I audible? Yeah, so we're trying to understand here what is Atma. And to understand that, the Guru is saying that we need to disidentify ourselves from a lot of things. So we have to break all the frame of references that we have built within ourselves, that we identify with. So what are those things? So what are those things? Sthula, Sukshma and Karana Sharira. So here in this shloka, I think we are going to understand what is Sthula Shariram. So here's the shloka. Sthula Shariram Kim Panchikrit Panch Mahabhutehe Kritam Satya Karma Janya Sukh Dukhadi Bhogya Tanam Shariram Asti Jayate Vardate Viparinamate Apikshyate Vinashiyatit Shadkar Vadet Sthula Sharirama. Can we go to the next slide? So here the question is, what is Sthula Shariram? What is the gross body? So the Guru is answering him about it, that what exactly it is. He says, Panchikrit. he says Panchikrit Mahabhute, which is like he's trying to explain the condition of the body, that that the body is something which has undergone the process of Panchikarana by the 5 element, that is fire, earth, fire, ether, water, and Vayu. Then he says, Kritam Sat Karmanja Dukh Sukh Sukhadi Bhoga Ayatanam. That means it is made of, it's born out of result of the actions that we have done in this life and in the past life to experience the this world and experience the the joy, the love, the anger, and all the experiences, and do our karmas. That is the cause that we are, these are the cause for the sharira that we are born in. Then he talks about the function of the body. Shariram, the body which has the different phases of the body, which is asti, that is the potential, jayate, that is the birthing, vardhate, that is the growth phase, then viparanimate, that is the stagnant part where there is no growth, no decay. It's we can say that it's the maturity level that of the cycle. Then apikshyate, that is decay part, vinashyati, and then the end of it. Iti shadkaravat eta sthula shariram. Thus, these 6 modifications are the gross body. Further to this, Sapna will take over.
Thank you, Varsha. So I would like to thank Asha and Varsha for helping with the content in this. So all of them have contributed greatly to this. So in our shloka, we are covering 4 aspects, which is what is the condition of the body, the cause of the body, function of the body, and nature of the body. So here we are talking of our gross body, the Stula Shariram. So there are these 4 aspects that we're going to cover. We'll go in detail. Siddhan, can you please go to the next slide? So in the cause of the physical body, there are 2 types. Yeah, the condition of the body, we are talking of the condition which is the gross. So anything basically which is visible to our sense organs is gross. Now it has to be perceptible to the sense organs, and also the body can be seen by myself and seen by others. Not only seen, heard, and other things, all the senses basically. So it's not only perceptible to me, but it is perceptible to others. And this is basically the first condition that we are talking about, which is being gross. Now coming to the second aspect, which is the cause of the body. Now the cause of the physical body has been divided into 2 types. The first cause is a general cause, which is the Samanya Karanam, which is the same for every physical body. So whether it is yours, mine, or any ant, any animal, plant, basically the Samanya Karanam is the same for any physical body. There is another one which is a specific one, which is Vishesha Karanam, which varies from one physical body to another physical body. So let's see a little more in detail. When we say the general, the Karanam, when we say it is the Samanya Karanam, basically it has 5 elements. I think we have already touched upon it in the previous shlokas, but just to again revisit that, it has Akasha, Vayuhu, Agnihi, Jalam, and Prithvi. So some of these, like Prithvi and Jalam, is tangible. Agnihi is visible. Vayu is feelable. You can feel Vayu. And Akasha is something that you recognize sensorially. Like you know that, okay, there is space, I can sit. So it is something that you can recognize sensorially. So this is how it is, and also it also moves from the most gross form to the subtle form. But that's for another day. But just to tell you all that all of us as gross bodies are made of these 5 elements. Now, coming to the Vishesha Karanam. Now, so the Vishesha Karanam has basically your karma. So it is basically this punya and papa, which has been earned in my past janma. So karma topic will be studied in detail as we go, but let's understand what is the role of karma in this Vishesha Karanam. So karma alone determines the quality of our physical body and the type of the physical body, whether it should be animal or whether it should be a human or whether it should be a divine physical body. This is decided by your karma. Now, the raw material is the same for all the types of bodies. But like how all houses are made of brick and cement and plastic and iron, like that. But what is different is the plan. That is what makes it different for us. So for us, the plan here is the karma. So the raw material plus the plan is something that makes all of us. So whether you're male or female also determines, from your karma. Now you may ask that if you think it is made out of parental genetics, then there is a question that the guru is asking, that why do you think you're born to those parents at all? That is also a question that you need to ask. If you feel it is genetics, then why were you born to those particular parents to carry those genetics? That is also related to karma. So karma varies from individual to individual. Therefore, it is called Vishesha Karana, right? And among all the types of bodies, this is something that we all have to, I think, look at it more closely. The human bodies are considered as a great thing. Human body is the most sacred body, and we are able to probe the mysteries of life, the goals of our life, choose a goal and also accomplish it. So if we are born as humans, it is something that we have to be grateful for, because we have been given a great thing, so you are already born as a human is a punya. You have already done something good to be born as a human. This is what is being said. So this is the second part of it, the cause of the body. Bidan, can you move to the next one? Now the third part is the function of the body. The body's function is that it serves as a temporary residence for the individual Jivatma, right? So you actually reside in this body so that you can interact with the world. So when a person, say for example, is transferred from one office, you have to go to another location. What is the first thing you will do? You'll find a house for yourself. So likewise, you are actually finding a place to reside. And that is basically the function of this body, this gross body, to reside. As long as there is work, I will reside in this body. So then later on, you look for, okay, where is the shop, where's the bank and other things, right? But the most important thing is to find a residence for this. And that is where this Stula Shariram comes, the function of it. So it's a temporary residence, and it will also end, and it will move from one body to another body, right? So therefore, what is the crux of this is, do not fall in too much, or do not love your body so much, because it has to be maintained, yes, but do not get attached to your body so much. That's what is the essence of this. And yes, it's also an abode where you get pain, pleasure, you have all these experiences, and these are the functions of a physical body. So don't get too attached with these things. Coming to the fourth part is the nature of the body. So the body's nature is such that it will constantly keep modifying or changing. So there will be a lot of changes. Now, what are those changes? The first is, when it is it's called asti, which is the potential existence in the womb of the mother. It is invisible, basically. Then you have birth, which is jayate. Then you have vardate, which is where the body grows into adulthood. You will see a lot of growth happening. Then viparinamate, which is up to 18 to 50, 55, where there is not much of change. It travels, it stays in the same plane. You'll not grow much, but you'll maybe become fat or thin, but otherwise, the growth aspect stops there. Yeah. And the next is apakshiyate, which is decay or disintegration, and vinashayate, which is it ends. So this basically, all these comprise of the physical body or the stula shariram. Yeah. So thank you. We end it here.
Thank you, Sapna. Thank you so much. Okay. So we'll quickly do the prayers, and after that, if there's any questions, we can ask. And those people who would want to log off, please feel free to log off because we are already beyond 8:30. Uma, would you just want to do the prayers, please?
Shruti Smriti Puranam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnat Purnat Mudyachate Purnaya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Thank you so much. And today's presentation was such amazing. I mean, everyone presented so beautifully today. That was great. Any questions that we have that needs to be answered, I think we can answer it right now. Suresh, you're there. Was your question answered, or do we just want to take that thread from there?
No, I think mostly there was a good discussion about it. It's just that I wanted, to go more deeper and deeper into those questions.
Yeah.
Are you able to hear me? My screen is stuck.
Okay. And we are able to hear you.
Okay. Okay. And to what was presented now, the second point, I think, if can you go back to the second point? My screen is not coming up. It's coming up.
Is this the one?
Second point.
Second point, this shloka, which shloka?
Cause of the body.
Yeah.
In the previous, can you go back to the another shloka? I mean the slide before this. Okay. It says no. The next one. No. Go front. Go front.
Is this the one?
Next. The meaning to it.
This is the one, right?
So it says that they have undergone the process of Panchikarana by the 5 great elements made of Sat Karma Janyam. So is these 5 elements made out of our actions in the past life. Is that what it means?
Okay. Sapna, do you want to answer? You want me to answer?
So I think there are two components here. So you are born as a result of good actions in the past life is the karma piece of it. So it is definitely you're born out of the past actions, and but the base is the same for everybody. The the 5 elements of the universe. So I'm not sure if there's. I don't know if I got the question right, but
Okay, let me explain. Panchikarana, I read up a little bit. So it means that 1/8 part is, all of these 5 elements are divided into 1/8 part, and each 1/8 part of each one of them gets connected to the other. So, a mixture of all of this forms a gross body. So I wanted to find out, where are these 5 great elements coming from? Is it so I don't know. I mean, that's where I wanted to connect.
Okay. So these 5 great elements are coming from something called Maya, right? From Maya comes the subtle 5 great elements, right? Which is the Sukshma Shari, so Shukshma Kasha, Shukshma Vayu, Shukshma Agni, Shukshma Jala, Shukshma Prithvi. So from Maya, from that place comes the 5 subtle elements, and these 5 subtle elements goes through a process called Panchikaranam. So that subtle elements leads to the grosser elements that you see. So you're seeing gross earth, you're seeing gross water, seeing gross fire, isn't it? So there is, with the gross fire, there's also something called a subtle fire. So there's a process called Panchikaranam that creates the 5 gross elements, right? So these 5 gross elements come together and become your body. Now, which body it will become will depend upon the DNA, right? The DNA gives the information how the 5 elements should come together to create a body. However, your DNA, as per scriptures, is a function of the karma. So basis a certain karmic impressions, you're born in a certain family. So the point here is, so this shloka does not necessarily talk about the process of Panchikaranam. The process of Panchikaranam is spoken in detail in a very different text altogether. However, here what they're saying, that the process of Panchikaranam creates 5 gross elements, and these 5 gross elements comes together, creates a shape of a body basis the karmic impression. Does it help?
Yes.
Right. So that's
yes,
how.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, that's how it exactly works.
I don't know if when Vidhan, I think these elements are referred to as tanmatras, and each one comes with their intrinsic quality or intrinsic nature. I would not say quality. Like the Akasha comes with the sound, Vayu comes with sound and sparsha, Agni comes with sound, sparsha and rupam. Correct. And Apana comes with sound, touch and everything, and Prithvi comes with smell. So these are tanmatras, and each one comes with their intrinsic nature, and that is where the thing is getting formed.
Absolutely. So this entire process of Panchikarana is completely, so there is a specific Prakaranam written by Shankaracharya which is called Panchikaranam. It's a beautiful text. If you want to listen, you just listen. It's basically 9 or 8 sessions where they explain the entire evolution of the universe, right? So for example, all these things have 3 qualities also. This is Sattva, Rajas and Tamu. So each of these subtle bodies, each of these, for example, the Akasha, as you say, Tan Mantra is basically has a sound as a property, but it also has this, so there's a Sattva Guna combines together and makes your mind, Tamo Guna combines together and makes your energy body, the Rajoguna combines together and makes the gross body. So the entire process is detailed in terms of how the universe came into picture. So that's what is explained in the text called Panchikarana. It's an interesting text to actually refer to, if at all we have time for that.
One point I wanted to add in the shloka is about the Satkarma Janyam, right? So human birth is supposed to be Satkarma Janyam. Why? Because human birth has free will to distinguish between dharma and adharma, and we can generate good karma and neutralize our bad karma, right? But we also read that the karma that we have gotten is from our past lives, and everything is pre-decided. So the question is whether we have free will to be able to actually neutralize the bad karma and get more good karma. I mean, that is one variation we are said to have as compared to animals, where they don't have the free will to change something, right? So it's just a thought in terms of whether we really have free will.
Free will is, yeah, I mean, it's a very vast subject.
Okay. So if you basically look at human anatomy and from the scriptural perspective, whether we have free will or not, we certainly has an element called buddhi, right? So if you look at the context, so we have, if you basically look at antakarana, it has 4 parts, right? It has manas, it has buddhi, it has chitta, it is ahankara. So what makes us humans is because of an element called buddhi, which may not necessarily be present in animals, because animals are instinctive by nature. They are driven by their subconscious. They are completely programmed. They basically do what needs to be done. It's genetics. That's how actually they follow. But because of an additional element called buddhi, or we can also talk very scientifically as something called prefrontal cortex that we all have, because of the buddhi, we basically have the ability to discern whether I want, say for example, there is a certain emotion that I have. And animals has an emotion, it will bark, it will bite, it will run. So it exactly does basis what it feels, right? But with human beings, even if we are having an anger right now, we still can discern not to shout and just stay calm, reflect, and then decide what I want to do. So that is on account of a special veto power which comes for a specific mechanism called buddhi, that thing that we have. Now, who operates the buddhi is for a different time. But yes, we do have that mechanics to interfere. We have something more evolutionary, more evolved than what animals have. It partly answers your question, Asha, not completely, but yes.
Yeah. Because otherwise we'd all become fatalistic, right?
Exactly. We have buddhi, we have that ability to discern, to make changes in our brain. We know we can change our brain structure.
Or, yeah, the question is, do we have the illusion of free will, or we really have it?
I'm not getting there right now. Great.
Maybe the Panchakoshas put the, what do you call, Maya on sometimes the ability of our mind to take certain decisions, right? I'm just wondering.
Yeah. We will possibly, after we finish TattvaBodha, we will basically, Asha, you should bring this out again. After we finish TattvaBodha, then we'll decide and we'll contemplate whether we have free will or everything is preordained. Yes, Prem.
Is it only punyam and papam which contribute to a person's karma?
Well, let's not take punyam and papam very seriously, because punyam and papam in itself becomes very judgmental. But this is how it has been explained in the text, and then it sort of becomes very very orthodox that these are the punya karma, these are the papa karma. So it's just so that our actions leads to an outcome, and some actions we sort of say is punyam, in some ways is papam. But again, we'll try avoid getting into literal sense of what punyam and papam is, because then comes dharma shastra, then comes who has decided this, and then it gets into complications. Right. But yeah, one thing is for sure, that every action that we do leaves its imprint, and that imprint gets carried over in multiple lives. And that imprint basically leads into positioning yourself in various kind of bodies, because you have to express those imprints, and therefore you need to position yourself in a particular body.
Are the terrorists also thinking that they are also doing Ishwar Arpana and doing what they are doing?
Yeah. A lot of them do believe that if they kill someone, they will have an eternal space in heaven for the rest of their life. They believe in that. They believe that if and the people who are not believing a certain ideology are not right people, and therefore if you eradicate them, maybe on earth you will be punished for that, but after life you will be in heaven for eternal period of time. So they also believe in that. They're doing a service to God.
In the true sense, selfless cannot be that you are doing something for getting pleasures or something in the next world, right? So that is not selfless in the true sense of the word.
No.
You are still doing for something. If not this world, you are doing it for another world.
That's not selfless, but that is where it starts. Of course, at least if people become a little bit more conscious that whatever actions, whatever I do in this lifetime has repercussions in next lifetime, there will be a certain more motivation to kind of be a little bit more conscious. So selfless itself is a very complicated word, and again, can we really be selfless is a point that we need to ask. Maybe that's where they have cleared out that Sapna was mentioning, and others were mentioning, there's something called Satkarma, wherein if we can kind of do things which not only benefit me and benefits a larger set of people. So if you basically look at the concept, what Upanishads are saying, that the entire world is nothing but one. There is oneness. So the consciousness that shines behind me is the same consciousness that shines behind you. While at the level of body and mind, we are all different, but level of consciousness, we are all the same. So how do I try and express that in the physical reality? It is by trying to take care of other beings as well, on a very practical terms.
Also, there is a saying, I'm not too sure. There's a saying that now that we are in Kali Yuga, so whatever karma that we are having so far, we are getting phalam of that in this lifetime only. There is, no next lifetime waiting. So if we are doing good, we'll be rewarded in this lifetime only, and we'll see the cycle. Maybe what we are reading and trying to understand.
Yeah.
Actually, honestly, with small little things, maybe if you'll observe yourself only, your life journey, maybe you'll be able to find out a lot of things. Maybe there will be a lot of time where you have a thought, you have a plan, but that is in a very unattached way. That plan has come to you, and like you have a result, but you're not you have a goal, but you're not attached to it, that this is the goal that I want. And it happens that something very beautiful comes out of it. And you start with something, and it goes in a much more bigger way, and in a better rewards that you get. Whereas there will be a time where we are like really stuck to some thought process, and we want something very, like we are just wishing every day to the God and universe, please de do Bhagwan, and that never happens. So I feel for me that was the example for being attached and non-attached. So being non-attached actually is a very rewarding thing, I would say. So maybe if you all will look back to your life, you will also get some small little, incidences.
Thank you for sharing, Varsha. In fact, this TattvaBodha has a large part where we are going to talk about theory of karma as well. So we'll have a lot more to discuss as we go along. Perfect. Thank you so much. Any more questions that we have? I know this
Vedant,
is
one last thing.
Sure.
Might be there are some of us who are able to read the shlokas well, and probably we've been learning it as well. So if someone needs any help before they present, they can always reach out to one of us. Possibly, I'm very much interested in these shlokas and reading it well. So if someone wants any help, please reach out to me, and we can spend a couple of whatever time required, and then do it well. Yeah, do it rightly, possibly. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. That makes sense. I think we should post it in the group, Suresh, if you don't mind. Just post it in the group.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. See you next week then.
Everyone.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. And sorry